1, 2, 3, go.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to our channel for another video. What's the topic today, baby?
The topic today, we're going to talk about why she wanted to date a black guy and why I wanted to date a white woman. Yeah. Or we can make it broad. Why do most Africans, when they see us on our TikTok, on our YouTube, why do they want to have a white woman? Right, vis-a-vis, why do most white American women want to date African guys? So that is the topic today. But thank you for coming back to our channel. We apologize, we haven't been uploading videos in a long time, but now that the festive season is here, we're going to get some time to chill and relax and have time home. We will be dropping more videos every week. Yeah. We promise you. But thank you for being here. Yeah, so the question today we're talking about is why do Africans, why do Africans want to marry white women? And why did you want to date a black guy? I'll start with you, please.
So, I can't really speak for anybody other than myself on this because all of my other friends are married or dating white guys. Or my best friend is married to an Arabic guy, but so none of them date or are marrying black guys. But I've always had a preference towards black guys. I don't know. I think it's just honestly what I was born with. I don't know. I've never really... Like, I'll see white guys and think they're attractive, but not like I want to date them. Or, like, they're attractive, but I wouldn't have, like, a chance with them, if that makes sense. You know, there's, like, celebrity level attractive. And, like, they wouldn't date me.
What are you trying to say?
That I don't really find a lot of white guys attractive.
Okay, so sexually you're not attracted to white men?
Basically.
Okay, that's not number one. You got any other reason?
I mean, that's really just as simple as that. I clearly never knew about Africans. I mean, I knew about them, but I never saw myself, like, dating one. And...
Fair enough.
You know, I mean, it's not some, like, great answer. Like, oh, yes, this is the reason. I just kind of always felt this way.
Okay. Before I give my submissions, I just want to make this clear. These are my opinions. If you don't agree with them, I would respect that. But I'm entitled to my opinion. I'm just sharing my opinion about this topic. It is a very sensitive topic because, to be honest, a lot of white people, when they see me with her, some of them are not happy.
Mainly the older
generation, they're not happy. They feel like she is doing an abomination. And then, to be honest, most African American people, when they see me with her, most of them don't feel happy. They feel like, I've had comments on my TikTok whenever we go live saying something to do with my DNA.
I think they're probably talking about me, like 400 years worth of DNA down the drain, something like that.
Yeah, it applies to me too. They'd be saying that I don't have to mix my race and stuff like that. But yeah, so I just wanted to make that
little disclaimer
disclaimer that, like, if you think your feelings are going to be hurt, please, you can exit. For those people, for those of my followers watching me on TikTok live, I just wanted to make that sure. And also, before I continue with this, my family here on YouTube and also TikTok, today is my birthday celebration. If you feel like you want to bless me, I've pinned my Cash App on TikTok. You can see it right there. It's called
my forehead.
It's called Level Path. That is my Cash App. You can send whatever Cash App you want to send you know, if you want to show your boy some love, it's called Level Part. That's my cash app rather. And the people watching us on TikTok, please let's tap the screen, let's share the live so we can continue with the conversation. Let me speak about myself. Of course, I came to the US when I was much older. I was dating, you know, people of my race in Uganda. But there was always, you know, tourists coming to Uganda, you know, white girls and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, my first encounter with a white woman was, I think I was like maybe 20, I was maybe 19.
Really?
Yeah, like, not like I had sex or something, but a woman that was close to me, a white woman that was close to me. There was a program in my city. They were building like an international an international school, and the people who were building it were from Germany, and yeah, so they brought a couple of teachers, you know, youth teachers from Germany. They were working with the kids and stuff like that. And then I used to work for that organization. So, you know, and I've always been good with people skills. I know how to interact with people.
Yeah.
So one of the girls kind of liked me. But of course, I did not catch on it. I did not pick it. I didn't, you know, it was, by the time I realized she really liked me was like when she was going.
Oops.
Yeah, so, but that was like my first serious encounter. Like so she was in Uganda for about like 3 months. All those 3 months, I used to be the one taking her to grocery shop. I used to be the one like taking her to buy the stuff she needed, the internet stuff, like getting like the usual stuff. So I was like the person that could get her to that. And one thing I learned about that experience was how genuine that woman was.
Yeah.
You know, and also the other thing was like how she did not expect anything from me. A lot of times when we get into relationships back like where I come from, you basically, the moment you tell a woman I love you, she becomes your responsibility. She expects everything from you. You know, you know, like, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, I'm just saying my experience.
Yeah.
You know, money for her hair, money for her nails, you know, buying clothes for her. Like, literally, you become responsible for the stuff that, you know, she wants. Like, you know, I've had bad experiences where, you know, I've lost money because I was in a relationship and somebody gives me an ultimatum that, like, if you don't, ultimatum, if you don't do this for me, then you don't love me. Of course you love the person, but then you'll have to do that, even though you didn't want to do it, but you just want to do it because you want to prove them you love them.
Yeah.
So when I was, you know, close to that woman, she made me feel like that's not what she wanted. The same way, like, and the reason why I wanted you is because that is what you showed. When we went for our first date, we went to a bowling alley. I paid for bowling. We went for our top golf, mini golf.
Mini golf, yeah.
We went to mini golf. Before I even went to pay, you paid. Like, nobody has ever, I've never taken a woman to a date and the first thing they told of is paying. I've gone to a lot of dates. I've spent a lot of money on dates.
Oh, lovey.
Yeah. So for me, that was rare to see.
Yeah.
And of course, I never knew that I was gonna date a white woman. I never knew I was gonna get married to a white woman.
Yeah.
You know, it was never a dream. But the funny part is, when I went home about 4 years ago, I was checking in my diary. And I think I told you this story. And
I think so.
And I was writing the things that I want to do when I'm 28. Of course, I was like maybe 15 or 16. I was in high school when I wrote those things.
28 is so specific.
Yeah, I've always dreamed to have a family at 28. I don't know why. That 28 was my number. I don't know why, but 28 was my number. So one of the things that I had written in that diary was like, get married to a white woman at 28. And it was just from nowhere because it's not like I was seeing white women every day in my neighborhood. No, everybody looked like me. I did not know that I would come to America one day. That was out of my class of dreams. It was just so random. At 15 or 16, that's what I wrote.
Yeah.
But you know, it just comes to prove to me that this was destiny because I was writing things that I didn't even know what I was writing.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back to the point I was talking about, like, that is why I started dating white women because they made me feel the two experiences that I've had. And it's not like the first girl that I was dating. No, we were just friends. Like, in where I come from, you be close to a girl like that, she will expect you to take care of them.
Like, even if you're not dating?
They will just assume most times, like, they will even be like, and this is also part of like the society. When they see you close to a woman like that, they'll definitely think, excuse my language, but they will think you're fucking. It's very rare that.
Well, I mean, people in my culture think that too. Like, if a guy and a girl are best friends, but they're not dating, but they're not dating other people either. I mean, most people think that they're having sex.
Yeah, but in America, I would say it's worse than what is back home.
Like, it's more casual.
Yeah, sex is more casual in America than what it is back home. You know, sex is a big thing back home. You cannot just be sleeping around with people that just for fun.
Yeah.
You know. The other reason why, so I grew up, I did not have a TV at home. At some age, I bought myself a small TV, and most of the TV shows, the movies that I was watching, it was white actresses. And most of the, ironically, most of the movies and TV shows that I was watching, they were like love stories, love TV shows, and stuff like that. And the actresses were like, they would show how genuine the woman loves her husband and the sacrifices they made.
Yeah.
And I've always been observant. I've always paid attention. So I would be like, these white women really have love. When they love, they really have love. So I used to observe that.
Yeah.
You know. But the reason why when I came to America and I never dated white women, it was because the culture shock. You know, so the culture shock and the fact that I went to a historically black school, you know, the just generally the community, how people from America, the black people from America, perceive the white people in America. And also vis-a-vis how the white old people in America perceive the black people, any black people. Yeah. And then that really kept me like caged. That I didn't know who I wanted to date. I didn't know who I would need to talk to. Like I was, at one point, I was really protective of my environment and the people that I'm around. It's because of the cultural shock. Yeah. But then living here many years later, I start to understand the dynamics and how people work and the fact that I don't care what your color is, there is always good and bad people. You know, so that came into context, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna focus on being protective when I'm around a white person. Like, be careful of what you say, because that's not who I am. Yeah. I literally speak my mind, and you do. So, and also what really, really helped me was being able to play golf. Like, playing at the, I tell you what, baby, this is gonna sound funny, but it's the truth. When we started playing at Salisbury Country Club, we were the first team in our division to have like all Africans on their team. And once we started playing golf there, of course, my school team had African Americans who would go and play there, right? Yeah. And they would, the way the white people perceived them, the white people were on edge, being protective, which I understand. And also the way the black people perceived the white community they were in there, they were also on edge, like we don't fuck with those white people. And the white people were like, we don't fuck with those black. That was the energy. So it is
Yes.
very hard to bring such a group together. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we changed the climate, and this is how we changed it. One, we were very open. We were always smiling. We were always joking. We were always like open to anybody. Like we find the people, the white old guys at the golf club. They were like, "Hey, how are you, sir? Good to see you." Like how you see when I go to the golf club and how it is. And then after like a 1 year period, they started coming around.
Yeah.
You know, and then they realized like these guys are different. These are not the regular black people that we meet, you know?
Well, and they're also fantastic at golf. So they're like, who is this all black golf team that is actually really good?
Right. And but the first attraction was our reciprocation of friendliness.
Yes. Yeah, y'all are y'all, oh my gosh, what am I trying to say? All of y'all are very friendly.
Yeah.
To like strangers, anybody.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody hasn't done me wrong, right?
Yeah,
there's no reason for me to be protective.
Yeah, or like hostile.
Yeah, like you see, as an American, you always expect the worst out of a situation before even it happens. For example, when we went to church, you were thinking about shootings.
Let me tell them the story, though.
Yeah, you go ahead and tell them the story.
There have been quite a few shootings in churches in like the South in the past couple years. And we went to a church with one of his friends that was visiting from Uganda. And this was a Southern Baptist church, which there's nothing wrong with that. But typically, Southern Baptist churches are predominantly white. So when we got there, it was our first time going there. And also, he knows a lot of like the members of the church that like work at the church. So as soon as we got there, they took us directly to the front row, middle section.
You're not used to sitting in the front row. That is what it is. I grew up in the church. My grandfather was, bless you. Bless you, babe.
But because this church is predominantly white and there were two large African men standing front and center, my first thought was, oh my gosh, if there is a shooting here, they are going to be such big targets because they stick out like sore thumbs. That was my first thought.
Well, again, it goes to the point that I was talking about, the cultural difference. Yeah. Where I come from, I've never heard of any church shootings in my entire life when I lived in Uganda.
Yeah.
Such things don't happen in Uganda. But I also understand that's where your instincts, like your thoughts ran to.
Because that's the reality.
It happens here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so, back to the point that I was saying is like, we never think of bad things first because where we come from, where we grew up from, bad things don't happen like that. You know, somebody cannot just randomly walk to you and shoot you. But things like that happen in America, in places where people hate, like white people hate black people or black people hate white people, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So we were very welcoming and we changed the narrative. So before we started playing for our college, the golf course was strict. They wouldn't allow them to play every day. You see how like we can go any day and they still let us play? It was never the case.
Really?
Yeah, we were only allowed to practice 3 days a week. And the practice time was set at 2 p.m. We missed our practice time, we're not allowed to go on the course. We can go hit balls. So they were protective because they didn't know. Yeah, they were protective because they didn't know what it is going to come with.
Yeah.
But then when they realize how we are, how cool we are, and how nice we are, and how and this is what really, really opened the doors for us. So in the summer, a lot of people play golf. So we decided we want to give back to the club. When there's a tournament, we go and volunteer.
Yeah.
And be like ball spotters, you know. And then one time, like it rained really, really bad and it destroyed one of the holes. Mm-hmm. We volunteered to go and help and fix and plant the grass and throw the sand in the grass, let the grass go. So that really, they had never seen something like that. Matter of fact, they even like gave us like gift vouchers after that. Then after that, the club pro say, listen, guys, you don't have to only play 3 days. You can come anytime. Just come and check in. We can give you the tea time. You can play whatever. And even before this, like right now, I think the contract is coming to an end. When I was in my sophomore year, because of how the club opened up to us, the president was so impressed, and they kept like the golf club would call the president of the university and be to speak highly about us and be like, those guys are representing the school really good. Those guys are doing an outstanding job. They're nice young men. They're very respectful. The president went and paid membership for the golf team for 10 years.
Wow. Because
of how the people perceived us. But we didn't get that. We went and we just expressed who we are in our authentic self of being nice people, respectful, not being judgmental, not being protective. Like, trust me, when we went there, nobody wanted to talk to us because they didn't know. When you look at me, you wouldn't know whether I'm African for a regular old white person.
Yeah.
You would say that's a black American. But then when we speak and how we conduct ourselves, how nice we are, even when we get mad or angry, the reactions are not the same.
Yeah.
So because of that, the club was very respectful, and the rest is history now. You see, we play anytime. Like, I've literally graduated 3 years ago, and I can still go and play golf there whenever I want for free.
Yeah.
Anytime I want. That is the kind of doors that it opened. So the cultural difference was really huge for me when it came to like my dating life. But once I started understanding people, like, of course I know there are white people who are very racist.
Yeah.
But I also know there are black people who are very segregative. Because I'm from Africa, there's not all, but there are some black people who look at me less because I'm from Africa.
Yeah.
And vis-a-vis, there are also like some Africans who look at black Americans that they are less because they are not from Africa, or they are not real Africans. But this is my point. You treat someone how they are to you. Someone is good to me, their color doesn't play context. Because at the end of the day, my story of life, I'll share it one day here. The person who changed my life is a white guy from Spain. You know, a white guy from Spain. He changed my life. He paid for my school fees. He facilitated my travels coming to America. Even right now, he's in America. He still looks out for me. When I was going back home to visit, he literally sent me like $1,500. He's going to be my best man. So I judge people based on how they treat me. If you treat me good, I'm going to treat you good. But also be careful. You can tell when energy can never be hidden. You can tell when someone doesn't like you because of your race. So stay away from those people. You know, stay away from them. Especially like I live in the deep south. So it's understandable. You know, I'm not oblivious that there's no racism. There is racism in America. I'm also not oblivious that there are nice people white people who don't care about your color. They will take you for who you are.
Which goes back to my, like, why I wanted to date a black guy, an African, is that my family specifically, my parents, have always told me they don't care who I date, if they're black, white, yellow, green, purple, whatever they are, as long as they love the Lord and treat me well, they don't care. So I think a lot of their support and their giving me freedom to express who I am has allowed me to feel open enough to date whoever I want. And I mean, without their support, I probably wouldn't have felt comfortable like dating outside of my race. But because my parents have never cared, I've never cared who I dated in terms of like what they look like if they're black or white or another race. If I think somebody's cute and they treat me right and they love Jesus, that's all I've ever really cared about.
Yeah.
But It is an added little bonus that you're so handsome.
Thank you, baby.
Oh, you're welcome.
But also, I'm never worried about what my family would perceive. Now, let me give another point. In Africa, and this is why a lot of young men from Uganda want to get a white woman. So first of all, back home, they think every white person is rich.
Which is not true.
That is number one. Number two, also, I'm not going to be oblivious and say, like, there are people who are not trying to come here to America through green card or get a woman and come here. I'm not going to be oblivious. Yes, there are also those people there. But the majority of the reason is because people think, I'm not speaking from a Ugandan perspective, from Uganda. If you get a white woman, she will change your life. She will enhance your life. You come to America. But one thing also that is true is Ugandans are hard workers. They just want opportunity. Some of these reasons is because we don't have opportunities in our country where we come from. So what's the way forward? Get a white woman, get married to a white woman. That white woman will bring you to America. You come here, and then you can work hard for your family because there's opportunities here. So those are also some of the reasons why, like, most people in our comment section be like, I want a white woman. I want a white woman. Like, for example, there are people who've been trolling me sometimes on the lives on TikTok. They be saying that I'm with you for money, and then they tend to forget. And then you be telling them, no, actually, he has more money than me. You don't.
Yeah, you pay majority of our bills.
Yeah, so that part just tells you that most of the Ugandans, when they want a white woman, it's not because they want to take her money. It's because they don't have the opportunities. So they look at that woman is going to come into their life, bring opportunities so that they can work and change their life.
Yeah.
You know, and some people genuinely just want to marry a white woman. It's not wrong, you know.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it was never a dream. I never thought I was gonna marry white. But once, you know, I was looking for a woman who would meet the things that I was wanting for my kids. And also, I also wanted someone who comes from a genuine family.
Yeah.
That was very important to me because I come from a broken family and I didn't want that for my kids.
Yeah.
So I think if you guys want more of this topic on YouTube,
we could talk about this for hours.
We can talk about this for hours, but we don't want to make the conversation lengthy.
Yeah.
For now, we're gonna stop here for YouTube and then continue on TikTok for maybe about 30
minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching us on YouTube. This video will be out. You can follow us on our TikTok on YouTube. Our TikTok is
in the comments.
Our TikTok is on the comment.
Yeah.
Subscribe, share, comment. Peace and love.
Peace.